Our seventh watercolour lesson, and we're keeping to a snow scene again, but a little bit different. I'm putting a mountain in here, and no one in particular, just having a bit of fun here. So I've dropped the water in, and now I'm going to mix what's like an intense blue. There we go. And we're going to bring that right down to the water line. And as I say often with watercolour, it is like learning to swim. You just got to trust the water, and that it'll come to that line and it will actually stop. But what I need to do obviously is soak up these areas, or I'm taking the excess water out of the brush and then just using it like a sponge really. So, or otherwise it'll have backgrounds, and I might have to do this a few times, but for now that'll be okay for now. Right, so you've got the sort of shape, the profile of the mountain in there now. And so what I'm going to do, I'm going to mix blue, and I might just put some ultramarine with that and see how we get on. And I can always mix some other blue in with it as well. So now I've got to keep away from that line. So this part here is going to be in shadow down in here. And I'll just wash that away. And I want something similar just into the background here, a little bit, but not much there. There we go. And then also to the line there, where you'd have snow on the ridge there. And that would be about it. And you can see how I need to soak these beads of water up again, just gently. And that should be the last time I would think I've got to do it. But if I don't, this will run back. That's drying quicker than this, and it'll draw it up and it'll create a stain, and that's what you've got to watch with watercolour. You don't want that. And so I'm going to keep to this ultramarine now, I think. And let's get some snow, just as it were in shade. I don't want to do it all, just parts really. And again, not everywhere, just. And similarly here, I want to get some of that in shade, but then you want to leave the white. This is a great thing when you're doing watercolour. For the actual snow, you just leave the white of the paper, which is fantastic really. It makes it so much easier. Now then, here we go, look. So this is all I'm doing at this stage. I'm not getting any colour in, but what I might do, I'm going to leave it like that. I think that's the best. But what I could do is, and I think I will, let's get the actual we've got a bit of a pond here, so let's get that line straight there, and so let's get this in, isn't it? There we go, get a bit of depth in here. So I'm working negatively, keeping the shape of this foreground snow like that. So put it like that. There we go. And we're almost done now with this session. Don't want to do much more than this really. I think just get that as. Now, I could have put a bit of masking tape along here and then ripped it off, and I would have had a clean edge, but I think that will do. There we go. Right, here's now our next session. What I've done, I've just put some greenery for the trees in, just like I've done with the other videos, so you can see how I did that. And let me just get a bit of variation in here now. I wet it so it'll blend. I can get the fine points to the top, and then it'll soak away. I don't want to labour this just a little bit. It's in the distance, so like I say, you don't want to spend too much time on it. But there we are. That's enough, really. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to come to the actual top of the mountain. You don't want to do a lot of this. It's only a little bit. Just some darks, that's all. But not much at all. And you can either, wash it away a little bit with some water or smudge it. I've chosen to smudge it a little bit for now, gently. But you see, it's given a bit of depth there now. And we'll get this into. Yeah, we can see now that mountain is standing out there now. And we might just get a little bit in here, because this is the profile of a mountain in the distance there. I'm not doing it red because I don't want this to come forward. I want it to stay in the background. So there we go. So now then, let's get on with the trees like we've done before. And with the gouache, we'll just do this side, I think, and then the other side will be a mirror of this side, won't it? So let's just get some snow. We don't want too much, or I only want a little bit of snow, not a lot at all. That's right. Or it'll compete with this. If I put too much, it'll get lost. So just add a little bit. Not much at all. There we go. Gouache is great like this. If you just want to cover over darks, you can do it so easily, really. And that's it, And so, like on the other posts, I've mixed it with some ultramarine blue to go into shadow there. It's a bit more white. Let's get it into shadow, and that gives it a bit more depth then, that some is the top. And we can come up in here and always fine tune this, but I think for now that will be, and I'm just going to do the same there to there, but for now let's get some, we wanted some colour in here, so we're going to put a bush in here. And I think what I might do is, that's great, let's try this. Yeah, that'll do. So that's a bush here. And we can always come on top of this with gouache to lighten back a bit there. There we go, that's great. Let's give them a bit of colour here now, see? And we can do something similar down here now. And we can come back and we can work on top of this. But you can see immediately now this sort of colour, it's great. It's with the snow scene. And we'll get some darker in here, I think, as well. And by there too, some darks in there. And I think that's it with this session now. I'll have to leave it at that. Great. Right, now this is the final session of watercolour lessons, the 7th watercolour lesson. I put a mountain in here, kept to a snow scene, and well, I just want to put some little touches in here, not a lot, just to warm it up, but you'll see now. If I put a bit of gouache, we'll get some light catching here. Let's try it again. A bit lighter again. All trial and error. That's it, that's what I'm looking for, yeah. There we go. So it's the trunks of the trees coming up here. And it's just warmed that area up, and we'll do something similar here as well. You don't want a more same angle, there we go. And then we're going to get some darker stuff in by here now. Just for these bushes here. There we go. Light touch when you do this. Hardly touch the paper really. And you want something similar over here as well. But now, coming to this now, it's going to be against the dark, so we've lightened it a bit. There we go. And what I might do now is, again, a little bit of colour, it all helps here. We'll get some crosses in here coming through. There. So we're nearly done now with this, since there's a little bit of nonsense at the last really, just to bring it to life a bit. And then what I will do, let's get a darker colour in here, just for a rock or two that's protruding, just here perhaps. And just to break this edge up too, I'll put something in there, not too much. I think we're done now, that's it. That's our 7th lesson, another snow scene in watercolour.